The following program deals with a controversial
subject.
The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
the top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Tuesday night, the Industry of Comics show, episode 79. Got my compadres with me tonight. We have an interesting show tonight. We're going to be talking about AI art still in the crosshairs like never before. And listen, we talked about this. We talked about in the past what's happened, and this could be the ramping up of, the FBI or the FBI walking into a convention and just shutting down everybody that's selling, something. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. But also, we're going to be talking about the blind bag street date craziness, which is very interesting.
I had how big this blind bag thing is. I had 3 of my normie friends who are barely tenable into our world call me up, go, "Hey, what's the deal with all this blind bag talk?" And so it's definitely seeped out of our world, and same thing with the AI issue. I saw it shared on a lot of the convention pages that I'm a member of, as well as Bleeding Cool and a lot of the artists. So,
yeah, well,
yeah,
just
not everything that happens in the comic book world is a fact in the comic book world. It's just
right.
In general, the way you do business.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. I don't spend much time on Facebook anymore just because you can get caught up in it. But the Facebook posts about the AI convention stuff was just crazy. It was everywhere. So that's definitely something being talked about. The blind bag stuff is definitely something being talked about. Today's a big day, right? Today's FOC for Mark's Monsters and the Wolves.
Yesterday was.
Yesterday.
Yesterday was.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the last day.
But wasn't it a holiday yesterday?
No, it doesn't matter. If you're placing your FOCs today, folks,
good luck.
Good luck. Good luck, Chuck. You then get a negator on that 1,000-copy order.
Yep. I mean, you probably could go to Keenspot and get it, but
Death Over Decaf said he bought 1,000 of them. I bought 500. Well, I told Keenspot, I said, put aside 500 for me, and we'll see if they do it. We'll see if they do it.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
It's crazy stuff. I think when we get into the talks about when we get into that segment, I think it again encompasses more than just opening up blind bags. It affects our industry big time, regardless. And I'll say this before we start talking about, I don't care if you're a C guy, a B guy, or A guy or a gal in this industry. You're all the same when it comes to this. I'm not giving any leeway to anybody on it.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Emmet here. Emmet and I are both D guys. Right,
D
Emmet?
guys? Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I
right over Jesse's head. Right over his head.
I got. Listen, you didn't partake in the SSS BBW boat, so we're now even. Yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
Rosetta fans gave a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Much love.
I got to talk to him today. Really good guy. And we see him all the time in the chat. So thanks a lot.
I usually put my books out end of Tuesday, like somewhere around 5 o'clock, because I close at 8. I start doing it so I don't have to do it Wednesday morning. And if a subscriber comes in, I might let them pick up their box. As long as it's not a book, they're not adding a book. So I didn't put anything out because of the blind bags. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I had 2 people come in and they're like, "Hey, your competition down in Chester, they had their books out." And I'm like, Not today. I'm not. I don't want to be on that list, even if they don't do anything about it. Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because I got into it pretty heavy on Comic Book Drama Alert this week. And that is the blind bag craziness, right? Batman #1 blind bags hit the not the shelves. They hit the retailers early on the East Coast. And let me bring in our guest real quick here. Ladies and gentlemen, a returning guest, a multiple times guest, Mr. George Chase from Hypno Comics. George, how you doing, brother?
Hi, everybody. How are we tonight?
Good, good.
Brother.
So yeah, we're gonna get into the blind bag stuff pretty heavy. But you know, it was a big story on Saturday night, the street date, and I don't think a lot of people realize what street date is and how it can affect your sales in the future now that they're cracking down on it, right? So we'll talk about that a
Diamond
little
always cracked down on it.
Yeah.
Diamond used to have the secret shopper.
Well, not originally. So Emmet, you're kind of fresh to this. Jesse and I remember a day, and George as well, when the boxes arrived by UPS on Wednesday morning.
On Wednesdays, yeah.
And you had an hour to 2 hours, depending on when you were opening your store. And that's if UPS delivered on time. We used to have to go pick up at the hub just to ensure that we would have them in time. And rightfully, the industry fought to get a Tuesday delivery. And the industry...
That was the $5.
Well, $6. I think it was $6.
Was it $6?
Money well spent.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that money went into a pool where every retailer would get secret shopped twice a year, and those results would then be kept by Diamond and fed to you. This worked great up until right before COVID. I had noticed I hadn't been secret shopped in like a year. And I was still paying that $6. And then after DC left, I was like, hey, are we still getting secret shopped? And they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, well, because you're still charging me. And I haven't gotten a secret shopper in God knows how long.
I was never secret shopped. No.
Yeah.
They were easy to spot. They were totally easy to spot.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is there's a group called secret shoppers that you hire. And what they're supposed to do is they give the secret shopper like $20. They pay them like $50 or $100. And they're supposed to come into your store and spend that money and utilize that tool, except for the industry decided to only give them 2 comic books to look for.
Right.
That were on the Wednesday
list.
Right, to get you to violate street date.
To get you to violate street date. I got hit once because one of my new employees was trying to be helpful to a nice little old lady.
Exactly. It's for my grandson's birthday.
Yeah, and they always came up with a bullshit story.
I drove 90 miles and he's in deathbed, and this is the last comic he'll ever get in his life.
Right.
And it was here's the thing. It was great to have him a day early. That's all I gave a shit about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
anything that gave you time to do your pull boxes, I mean, if you had a lot of pull boxes.
Oh, yeah. And we didn't have to come in at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning. We could come in when the store opened and the books were already on the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I came in on the tail end of this. I'm assuming this is the blind bag stuff that.
But we're then jump back to Block A. So.
Well, we'll just continue with this. I'm going to take you guys into the Matrix real quick.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me take you guys into the Matrix.
Quick review though, because I did buy books that weren't blind, and I got them so early. I did read #1. My review is not good. Matt Fraction's hit and miss for me, and this is going to be so. I'll read #2 to see, but I felt
I literally just got mine today.
Oh,
well,
wow.
so that's interesting. Think about
West
this.
Coast. He's West Coast.
West Coast.
So I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is. I don't think the fact that they're selling them early is the biggest problem. It's the fact that they're selling them early and before the people can on the West Coast, which are their peers, and they're taking a ton of money away from their peers. Like if these guys in the East Coast were on the West Coast, they'd feel different about it, in my opinion.
Well, and this was the Batman 50 issue, because every retailer got sucked in to do a variant for Batman and Catwoman getting married, and retailers ordered 1,000 copies to get the rare Jim Lee one at 1,000. And
this kid, not this kid.
Well, I didn't either.
They didn't get me on that one.
Yeah, I didn't get sucked into this at all.
No.
I had got a little heads up that they weren't going to marry. So.
But Sunday, the New York Times did an interview with somebody at Warner Brothers Marketing and announced they're not really getting married. And then all these retailers holding all these books that they hadn't even received yet were just left holding a bag. And I talked to a bunch of them, and they were like, it was the worst variant I ever did. Blah, blah, blah. I only got pre-sales. I got nothing the week of. It was brutal.
That's tough.
Well, let me give people a quick rundown of what happened.
But if Emmett's right, and this is a stuck book, this is nowhere near the hype it's got.
The art is great. Leaked. The art is great. The writing is good. I just didn't like the story.
So basically, the East Coast got their bags early and sold it a week early from street date.
Ooh, that's dirty.
A week before street date, we're selling it. Bleeding Cool did an article. Heidi over at Comics Beat did an article. Everybody did an article. And it's back to the same thing that happened during Battle Beast. You remember Battle Beast 3 days early for Battle Beast blind bags. They were selling them early. You had people saying, Skybound can suck my nuts. Lunar can kiss my ass. I'm going to do whatever. This is for my business, and you had all this craziness. And then,
oh man,
people thought, oh, we got away with it. I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. If you think you got away with it, you're wrong, because Robert Kirkman remembers, Image remembers, Skybound remembers. And this is what had to happen, though, in order for it to be stopped. Lunar and the publisher had to come out and make a statement and make a law, okay? Lunar has come out now because the blind bags started selling early, and Lunar said, you cannot open the blind bags before street date. And that's a big deal, because the opening part is the exciting part. That's what everybody's like. Could you imagine if Mark Spears stuff got opened a week early and all that excitement from the midnight release and all that promotion got ruined, right?
But Brian, it probably still is going to happen.
It is going to happen. You're right. I know. But hopefully now there's a law, and now Mark and Keenspot will be writing down everybody that does it early to say, okay, we're not going to give them blind bags next for December.
Right, but Brian, let me just stop you there for a second. Just like what Emmet said, Emmet, you had one store selling early in your area.
Yep.
And you didn't. But if one of them pops up, and I always forget the name of your damn town, Emmet, so I apologize.
Port Jervis.
If a eBay account in Port Jervis sells that, you're going to be just as guilty looking as that store down the street that sold it to them.
Yeah.
So what are they to do? If somebody got it early and somebody puts it on eBay or somebody rips it on a whatnot feed, anywhere near Port Jervis, Emmett's on the hook as that other store is on the hook. And they're just going to go underground with it. It won't be the store ripping it. It'll be one of the customers of the area.
Right. Well, the problem is this. Again, any other industry, we sold Jordans. You sell that a minute before opening, and they have one of their reps at your store, and this is Nordstrom. Nordstrom will never get those books or those shoes again.
Well,
you either have a rule in place or you don't. And in this case, no one followed up on the rules.
Well, the rules weren't set until afterwards. So Lunar
The
came
rules have
out.
always been there, though, right?
Not for blind bags. Not for blind bags. Not for blind bags.
Not for blind bags, but it was it's for all comics.
All comics.
Yeah.
All comics have a street date.
Yep.
And every distributor, including Lunar, has those street date rules.
Yeah, but they added a special rule in this saying you cannot open the blind bags, right? You're not selling the books, or they're not getting in their hands till after street date, so they would be within the law if they open them. Now they're saying you can't open the blind bags until the street date.
Different.
That's what I'm saying.
The fact that
That's
they've
what I'm
had this
saying.
street date in effect, and how many books get leaked by a retailer who read it a week early.
DC put out a statement now. So DC says, street date reminder. DC has been made aware that some retailers have made Batman #1 blind bags available ahead of the official street date. To ensure a fair and consistent experience across all sales channels, brick and mortar retailers and live selling platforms are strictly prohibited from revealing, displaying, or shipping the contents of Batman #1 blind bags so they arrive in the hands of consumers before Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Please note, blind bags must not be in customers' possession prior to street date. The contents of the blind bags may not be shown or disclosed before the street date, and retailers who violate this policy may be restricted from participating in future blind bag programs. We appreciate your cooperation in maintaining the integrity of this release, but guess what, you guys? They released it after it already happened. So instead of putting Batman on there, put all blind bags. All blind bags.
Yep. And just like Derek said while I was typing it, May. That's the wishy-washy word.
Yeah, but it's not even wishy-washy. Let me just, because I've been very vocal on this, and I think these people are dumbasses, and I think they have zero integrity. And one of them is my closest friends. But you know what? When you go on a show and you say, they didn't tell us, dude, you're a leader in this industry. You need to be told not to do this. You don't think in your head as a businessman, this might not be right to open up a blind bag 6 days before release?
But I have one. Here's the reason why I honestly think that they put that word "may" in there, and that they're being what I think called wishy-washy.
Because
let me just throw this.
Somebody really big does it, they're not going to drop the hammer on them.
But not just that, Emmett. What's the penalty?
Money.
The penalty is canceling an account. And when you cancel somebody's DC account through Lunar, what would that say to you? Not a conspiracy theorist a-hole like myself, but that to me is the way Lunar gets people to not buy from a store, but maybe go to Discount Comic Book Service and get their DC books in that area.
Yeah, or go to Universal. I mean, there's so many outs on this. At the end of the day,
I see where Dennis is going with that, though.
yeah. At the end of the day, I think asking, I think if you're someone who did it and you say, listen, I was wrong, cool, great. But there are people out there that still don't care.
Yep.
No.
You know, Sean's in the thing. He said, hey, listen, I was wrong. I won't do it again. I learned. But it doesn't matter because there's other people that are still doing it.
Yeah, but here's the good thing about this. We're in a different time and space with comics. It's so different than it was 5 years ago. And when you have retailers like you guys, like Sean coming on the show on Saturday and saying, I did it, and now that this rule is out, I will no longer do it. I'm pushing my sales back because this rule is out. People are seeing other retailers doing it. They're seeing why they're doing it. They're being vocal about it. That's important. That's a big deal in this new world of comic books. Because listen, whether people like it or not, this is where people get their information now, is social media.
Well, yeah, it might not even be for the sale of the book. I mean, just the opening is great content.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, they can monetize that on top of selling the actual book.
Yes.
But I mean, there's one way to fix this. If it's that big of a secret, pay a little extra, have them shipped out to deliver and receive on Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning on release date.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they get them on Tuesday, the day before, somebody's gonna have them on Whatnot at 9 o'clock that night.
No, that's true.
You know, I mean, there's always gonna be that one person or half a dozen people that are just gonna sell it as soon as they get it.
Yeah,
Right.
I just think it to some stores it looks like you're chasing.
Yeah.
It is.
And you're
Waft of
chasing,
desperation.
It's like, oh my gosh, I gotta sell this early because if I don't sell this early, I can't. You know what? Just wait till Wednesday, like everybody else. Sell your books, and you're fine. You know, if you want to pre-sell on Whatnot, Batman 72, whatever Batman is on, that's fine. But when you're doing blind bags and you're opening them up.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and I talked to-
care about the pre-sale thing. What I care about is opening up the blind bag. That's when you cross the line, because there's no difference from doing a pre-sale on a comic and doing a pull box.
I talked to, like I said, this got outside of our bubble, and one of my close friends who used to work at Upper Deck called me up and said, "Hey, what's going on with this blind bag thing?" I go, "Oh, it's real simple for me to explain it to you. If you put in 10 or 20 secret cards into an Upper Deck release and somebody broke Street Date and had put them out on, and this was like back in the old days, if they had put it on the collector's net, you know, that all the card guys.
Yeah, Sportnet, baby.
Sportsnet, yeah.
That's right.
And if they had put it on Sportsnet, what would you have done? He goes, "Oh, we would have sent leg breakers."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what this comes down to. You know, Brian, you know, I know you're a big ripper. You love to rip. Back when you could, you know, afford to buy a box of anything.
It's too expensive now.
But how pissed
That's what
off would
this
you
is,
be
yeah.
if you bought a case of something to try to hit the 1-in-1 and somebody ripped it a week early and said, "I found the 1-in-1. Everybody stop looking." If somebody had Street Date broken Lord of the Rings
Oh, yeah.
and found the ring a week before the release,
It would have been
that
nuts.
would have been a dead man walking.
Yep.
Yeah. Wizards would have got that card back somehow. They would have got that back.
Yeah.
That's what this is, though. It's the rip. It's the rip and ship. It's you know, they're just it's the booster pack mentality when it comes to the blind bag, you know. And again, they're doing it for content and streaming content, not just the sale. You know, they want to be the first. Imagine if you are the first person that hits it, good or bad press, you're gonna get some press. You know?
What were Brian? What were those blind bags actually selling for at auction?
$30 a piece, up to $30
$30
a piece, which is crazy. That's 3 times the value. And here's the thing: those Batman bags were $9.99 MSRP.
Yep. So the notion is
no hits in them, no real big hits in them.
There is a 1 in 500 and a 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, but
what was it?
They're not exciting.
Autographs.
Yeah,
and
but
not
if a customer
sketches.
walks in my store and I
there's
say,
no
"Oh yeah, these
sketch
are
or
$30."
It was sold on multiple platforms, George. It was sold on eBay Live, Whatnot, eBay, I believe. You know, Facebook Live, Marketplace, all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Again, it's just it only takes. This is again why I said we can't get shiny, cool stuff as retailers, because you always got the person who says, "Well, what if I do this?" Right? And until they eliminate the word "may," continue to do it.
We used to get really great promos for Magic.
Yeah.
And now, well, unless you're a premium store now,
Right.
but still, if a premium store gets caught selling those, like as a item on eBay or anything like that, they're done for. I mean, Wizards of the Coast watches this stuff like a hawk.
Yeah. I just watched Rattle.
They'll give you
Rattle
a suspension
Pokemon.
the first time. They'll give you a suspension because that happened to me when we moved locations. One of my employees listed one, and we got suspended for 30 days, and I had to fight with them to get our store status back.
Right.
Yep.
You know,
I almost lost it over letting people use tokens, not tokens. Fake cards.
Proxies.
Proxies.
Yeah, no, I don't do proxies.
Yeah. Well, we had a free game. We just used their system so that we could track I mean, we just were using it to make the pairs.
Right.
And yeah, we got the nasty letter and the cease and desists. We did right away.
Let me, I want to, Brian, and this is kind of a segue into it. We know how bad most retailers are hurting right now. And when DC put this giant carrot out there and retailers put all in on this thing. Oh, it's fraction, it's blind bags, it's chocolate and peanut butter. I'm going to buy way too many of this $9.99 book at between 50 and 35% off that I can afford to buy, in hopes that something helps save me, helps save my store. And then something like this, some scumbag who knows better tries to grab his bag first before everybody got a chance to sell this. That is the kind of thing that breaks retailers' spirits.
Well, how do you think these people who paid $30 a bag feel when they can go and walk into a comic shop and get it for $9.99?
Yeah, but they know that though. They know that it's a $9 comic. They're just in the that's the whole thing about ripping ships, man. They get into it, you know.
I don't think anybody started their bid saying, "Hey guys, just so you know, the retail on Wednesdays and be $9.99 on these."
No. Yeah.
No. I think they just
you don't know that.
You know,
they probably started them at $10.
Who wants a 1 in 1,000 chance to get a Jim Lee?
Right. Yeah. It's the gambling aspect. And then I mean, giving us a product like that, like this, you're always going to have the people that are going to step over $1 to make a nickel and not look at the future. You know, it's unfortunate.
Well, here's part of the problem. They feel like, oh, these other guys are doing it first. I'm gonna lose out. Instead of thinking to themselves like, FOMO. Hey, the first thing they think of is I'm gonna lose out on money because I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing:
when they see there's no real punishment, what's stopping them? As the chat said, people are ripping them right now as we talk.
Yep. Yeah, I think
really,
you know,
are they ripping him right? Like literally, if I go into Whatnot or eBay Live, is it gonna be
the?
I don't know. Let's see.
Let's check it out. Let's go bomb a show.
Was it raid a show?
Yeah.
Sean, shut down your stream. Shut down your stream, Sean.
Yeah, I know. Sean's like, shit, gotta turn off my camera.
No, Sean was one of the guys that came out and said he was not going to do it.
I know.
Yeah.
I gave him his props.
Yeah, there's 2 shows right now that have blind bag Batman in the title.
They might not be
opening. Oh my God!
67 viewers.
Let's watch it. Let's watch
We'll
it.
get John to do like some sketches.
There we go. What's that?
Open.
That's open.
We got John live from the cave.
Yeah, go in there.
That street date, yo.
You're on candid camera, bitches.
Yeah. What's the name of this company?
That is a Batman cover.
Who is it? Who is it? Brian, who's the name of the seller? I can't read it.
$240? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make sense.
Is that Capullo?
Hold on here. Let's give
Collector
this guy a chance.
Cave.
Let's give this guy a chance before we crucify him.
Okay.
He's doing. It looks like he's doing.
You guys are gonna like it. We got something for everybody.
Oh, is that his exclusive for this?
All right, the last one, blue.
He's doing a giveaway.
Metal, blue.
Okay, so that's not okay. Sorry,
$1.
I don't know what they look like because I haven't watched a single one of these.
No.
I'm gonna go the other one.
You got some free shit, bro.
Go the other one. See what.
Okay, this guy's literally cutting it open with scissors.
We're giving away that Batman.
All right,
let me find the guy that's cutting it open with scissors. Hold on here. So
the neck, that one.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Okay, so he wants $9 for that one and $15 for the other one. Why?
It must weigh more.
This is crazy.
Oh
no, that's number 9 and number 15 for you to pick.
That's just the auction numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's $28. He sold it for $28.
$28. Well, let's see what he's starting them at. What's he starting at?
$10. He's starting them at $10.
Cover price.
Yep. Like I said, I don't blame the customer. The customer, I mean, they're an idiot if they're
Well,
paying
do you blame
much.
this guy? This guy might not be a retailer. He might just be a customer that picked him up from a retailer.
How did he? Yeah, exactly.
How did he get him this early?
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, right? Let's see here. Is there any more? Oh, look at all these. Oh, my God.
I mean, all
Yeah,
these
well, you figure it
there's a
comes
bunch of
out
co-op
tomorrow.
accounts too.
Yeah.
You know.
So these might be people that shows are tomorrow.
Go back.
So,
I want to see if he opens one. I just want to see if he opens one.
Yeah, he was cutting one with scissors when I went in earlier.
Is that one of them right there?
Each Batman blind bag will include.
And you got the Turner.
Blind bags
Two
are
classics,
rips
and
only.
you literally made like your money back with just this one. Like that's.
So
that
no
means
shipping
you
US.
ripped
Does anybody know what these look like?
Should have did my research. What GG's on that, bro?
No,
GG's on that.
I just got mine today.
Bro,
Yeah, I didn't open any of mine. I didn't
Yeah.
even take them out of the box yet.
When I saw that
Yeah,
price,
same.
and I was like, "What? That's awesome."
now he's got these
So
books
glad you got
in
the
bag and
there.
board,
Thank you for
but he's wearing gloves.
I just noticed that too.
Yeah, I'm
But I
like,
think
well,
he's bagging
they're in
and board them as
board,
he pulls
dude.
them out.
Well, they might
Oh.
be chrome covers and shit, and he doesn't
Yeah.
want to get fingerprints on them.
Presenta fan said, "Why does it matter if he's retainer or not?" I'm not
I
understanding.
think he meant
that. Explain
retailer. I think he
I
meant
think-
Oh,
retailer.
retailer or not? It matters because if he's just a normal dude, what does he give a fuck about a retailer rule? He's not a retailer.
And how
Right.
did he get them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Like there's no
Yeah.
like even if there is a retailer rule, I'm not going to expect this guy to follow it. You know what I mean? If he's a retailer, then I'm in the back of my head I'm going to think, okay, this guy should know better. If this guy's just like if I'm not a retailer and I'm going to my retailer and flipping these, I don't give a shit about a retailer rule.
Yep. And the thing is how are they going to bust you? That's
Yeah.
what I said. They're going to go underground. The retailer is just going to sell them to a shill to sell them for him on whatnot.
Well, the only thing that would have to happen is Lunar or the publisher saying to these live selling platforms, like, hey, we want you to tighten down on these. Or, you know, like Marvel could say to Whatnot, hey, we're not going to allow you to do Whatnot packs anymore unless you tighten down on breaking
Yeah.
street date with these packs.
Yep.
But we all know that that's not going to happen because that Whatnot allows Pokemon dealers to.
Oh
break
yeah, they've
street date.
allowed so much shady stuff that
Oh,
has
yeah.
been like just in your front of your face, blatant, and
Yeah.
with no consequences to the sellers. None.
How hard
Yeah.
do you think that would be to police that too? That's the other question. Do you guys
Yeah.
think it'd be
Oh no, I think it'd be extremely easy.
Mm.
You know how you police stuff? You follow up on what you police, what you say. That's all
I know,
you have
but
to do.
that's what I'm saying.
If
Like
you-
as the app,
once you-
how hard or how easy would it be to police that? I don't know.
Once everybody figures out AI, they can police for them.
Mm.
Yeah, so it really depends on, you know, we keep on saying Lunar. What it depends on is the publisher. And the publisher has to have a rule in place with the distributor saying these are our rules. And if someone does it, you are not to sell
You know,
to this retailer.
Brian,
It can't
can you
be the
pull up?
distributor.
Can you
So
pull
I
up
took it off
Jesse's
screen.
post?
What post?
His post where he chastised all retailers, and I put what I thought was the perfect response.
All right, he's cutting the bag open with scissors,
Let's see it. Come on, we got to watch it, Brian.
Yep.
and he took it off screen too, which is like a no-no.
Yeah,
You know?
you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's even
Especially
worse.
if he's been ripping them.
Yeah,
off.
let's
Yeah.
go 1,000, baby.
Yeah, that's not good that he's
Screen
taking it
again.
off
No,
screen.
see, that's the
Off
worst.
screen again.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I meant, but not only going to send you.
Because here's the thing, I already don't
We're
trust
gonna-
this
we're
guy.
gonna
He's
pull
already
some
breaking
crazy
street
heat out of
date.
this, I
He
swear.
might have
Yeah,
opened
right.
5 or 6
One of
already
these
to have
has
the
to be,
common
like, some
sitting off to the
craziness.
side.
Yep.
And then, nope, you didn't get the 1 in 1,000, but you got
Yeah.
the common when I opened 2 hours ago. before
Right,
the stream
taking it off
started.
screen is a huge no-no, man.
Yeah.
That's a huge no-no.
Look how long he has it off screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd be
It's
calling.
suspect.
Can you pull up his chat and see what his chat's saying? Because I'd be
Suspect
furious.
Right there.
AF.
Is anybody calling him out, taking it off screen?
Oh,
No.
somebody's. What is this? Somebody. Let's
So
see.
there's your first book. He's putting them in bags and boards, it looks like.
Yeah, but you got to open it on
Yeah.
screen.
You got to open it on screen.
Wow, dude, I'm surprised this chat. There's only 10 people in here, so I'm sure they're
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
And one of them's you.
Yeah.
I know.
And it
And
only
George.
sold for $13.
Yeah.
And
Last
me, I'm
one
in
sold
here
for
too.
13. Yeah.
So
And he's giving
again,
them a
it's
free
such a
quarter
hard
book.
thing to police. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it really is. But
Yeah.
you know, listen, it is what it is, and at this point, the blind bags are a different animal. The publishers now want them open the way that they're meant to be open in their minds.
But they'd have to have some teeth with Whatnot
Yeah.
to say, listen, we have a street date on this. You allowed your customer, your dealers to sell this outside of our street date. If they don't have any teeth with Whatnot don't care. They don't give a fuck.
No, but
Well,
like,
they don't have to follow those rules.
Whatnot could apply their own in-house rules because when
Right.
they do their blind bags, they're super strict about that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
You know, they can apply that to, you know, a big drop like this or a big drop like the Battle Beast that came out, you know.
Yep.
I mean, something smaller, maybe harder to police, but like when it's literally in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Let's move on to something a little less exciting to talk about, but something that needs to be talked about. We lost a comic book brethren recently, and
he used to watch the show quite often.
yeah. So if you guys don't know, Randy Meyers of Collector's Corner in Baltimore has passed away. And just another example of something that can always be fixed. There's always something that can happen to change your mind, and just let people know if you're getting this close. It's always not worth it.
The reason this hurts so much, and the reason why I wanted George to come on tonight, Randy was bros. When I say bros, I don't take that lightly. Randy, me, Jen King, Aaron Harland, Jesse, and George and I were like the five amigos. We were young retailers who wanted to make a difference. We were upset about most of the same things. We were all coming up together, and
yeah, we were.
Randy had a lot of moments where we all thought, "Oh shit, what's wrong, Randy?" And Jesse, George, and I constantly reached out to him.
Yeah.
Hey man, do you need anything, brother? Come on, man. If things are bad, let me know. We'll talk it, blah, blah, blah. Call me if you ever have a problem. Call me if you ever need to talk. And I said it on here 1,000 times. If nothing is so worth working up that you don't want to see tomorrow.
It's only money. We can always make
That's
more.
right. That's right. I mean, here's the thing is like we all got into this because we love it on some level. I mean, Jesse, you've got a corporate background. I've got a corporate background. Dennis has had fuck you money for how long? I mean, we do this because we love it on some level. And you can see, like, aside from behind the scenes, you could see in Randy's posts how, the market was like just really doing, it's done a lot of us dirty on some levels. But it pains you to see something that you love deteriorate in some areas that you can't control.
Yeah.
And that's depressing, man.
It occurred to me while I was talking to somebody earlier today. Baltimore has got its own problems.
Yeah.
But Baltimore is also the home of Diamond Comics.
Yeah.
And a lot of those geeks that worked at Diamond worked in comic shops, got hired by Diamond, worked at publishers and got hired. They're comic customers. We haven't really thought about the impact of all of those guys losing jobs, losing money, losing livelihood, and not going in and picking up their polls or canceling their polls.
Yeah.
That could be a 10 to 20% impact just on the Baltimore area alone.
Did you see the post about him pulling the subs?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so he was doing like the opposite of what you would normally do, where I'm going to go subs only, you know what I mean, to guarantee my sales, blah, blah, blah. He was like, nope, no more subs. If you want it, come get it off the wall, because I'm putting $2,000 back out on the wall that's sitting in a box.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know that's, you know, that's nothing. That's somebody's rent, man, or a portion of your rent right there.
Well, and we showed that image of Jamie Colgrove from Pack Rat, who $1,500 in 1 month. And then I parodied it with the 33 million when Diamond went bankrupt, of retailers owing Diamond the money.
Right.
Yeah, I think the thing I've known Randy since I've got in, just like you two guys, and understand the impact of our generation, our group that came in, that really wasn't going to follow the talking retailer heads at that point. We've decided we had our own direction, but we all had the common thread of this new idea of being these new store owners that were then make a difference.
Right.
I think what happens in this day's society, we've all been in our store at 3 a.m. trying to figure out, how am I going to pay my rent, or how am I going to pay my power bill? How can I do this, or how can I do that? Calling buddies and saying, hey, do you need anything? I've done it with you two, Dennis and George. When I was on the line for something, man, I'm calling you guys, hey, what can I get you? But the other thing that starts to hit you is you start seeing someone successful while you're failing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the challenge harder, when you continue to not get those wins, but someone else is. Right. And it's very hard to ignore those, because you want to be part of your buddy's wins as well. You don't want to ignore them, but when you're not trending the way you want to, that makes it even challenging. In this social world of, listen, you've got to post. You got to let people know who you are, about your culture and your tradition. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and it's about selling a book, that's the challenges we face every day. And this was a big challenge for him at times. And he was very open to the public about it.
Yeah, he really was. He really was. He did a lot more like outreach to his customers, like asking for help than I don't know. I would say that that's also a mentality issue, doing the whole like comparing, you know, this guy's doing better than I am. I would look at that as like a learning opportunity. And some people don't, you know, look at things like that.
Right.
You know, there was like, oh my God, they're doing better than me, I must suck at what I do. Or no, you know, that's a learning opportunity. I mean, we've taken, I know I've taken, you know, promotions, marketing material, ways of doing business from other successful companies, you know, and installed it in my shop, you know. I mean,
the roadmap is out there. The roadmap is out there.
Absolutely.
You know, my mentor, no, not my mentor, guy I wanted to emulate. His name's Dave Huxley. He owned Dave's Comics in Royal Oak. He was the famous retailer who did the interview in 1988 that said, I don't want Mr. Mom as Batman.
Yeah.
That's how big
right.
he was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it until yesterday, that he was actually a minor character in the Coen brother Sam Raimi movie Crime Wave. And I had just watched a documentary about how that movie could have taken down all of them, the Coen brothers, the Raimis, Bruce Campbell, and yet it didn't, because they all learned a valuable lesson on what went wrong with Crime Wave. And if you don't know, Crime Wave is a very cult classic movie that was filmed in Detroit. And that was the takeaway that I got from that documentary. And I told that to Dave, and Dave was like, oh my God, I've never seen this. I'm totally watching it. Oh my God, this was so perfect. Because they all learned a lesson that made them all stronger in the careers that they went on to. And that's a perfect example in life. You have to take these little failures, back to rule number whatever on the Gary Reed list. You can fail. It's okay. You can't conquer the comic book industry. Failure is acceptable.
Yeah, you learn more from your failures. There's a great, I think it's Thomas Sowell that says it. There's a comment that he has, or a saying that he has, where he talks about how anybody can gain intelligence, anybody can gain book smarts, but it pales in comparison to experience. Experience is the most important thing in life.
Sure.
And you don't, you get that by living another year, living another day, and changing things, and figuring out how, changing how your mindset, the people around you, all kinds of stuff. And that experience is very important.
And it's not just that. And I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I know Randy loved comics.
Yeah.
Randy loved his stores.
Yeah.
Randy loved his customers.
Yep.
And you can love something too much.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
When it's being taken away from you, he didn't realize that he's more than the sum of those parts.
The industry, I mean, especially for comic book purists, right? I mean, we all started off as comic book purists. I mean, like, who has had a store fail? I mean, I have. I've had a store fail. I didn't start as Hypno. I started in 1989 as Planet 10. And that was a learning experience, aka failure. I mean, but that is how you learn. And I just, you have to get to a point where you emotionally detach a little bit. I mean, because we do love this business, or we wouldn't, to the point where it breaks our hearts sometimes. But then there's like days of freaking, just exciting joy, like when you score a Hulk #1 in a collection and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or when you hand that kid his first comic book and their eyes light up. There's those redeeming factors in the business. But when you're that emotionally involved, there's the opposite side the pendulum swings to, and that can be depression.
Yeah,
and,
it's
sadness.
If you work at if you work at Napa Auto Parts, you're not going to see your buddies, and they're not going to say to you, "Hey, how many batteries did you sell today?"
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. In the comic book world, hey, how's business? What's selling? Hey, did the movie help you? Oh my gosh, new issues are coming out Wednesday. Can't wait to get that. There's always this extended conversation that brings you right back into the business. And
I had a customer hit on 3 of those today in a conversation. House business, what's coming out tomorrow, kind of thing. I mean, we are the bartenders for the geek world.
We are.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I want to buy a shirt that literally says, when me and Shannon go out to dinner, that says, "No, I don't carry Labubu's." Because that's what the second I can't even get my order. Shannon will tell you it takes us 10 minutes to get the order because the person says, "Did you get Labubu's yet?" No. Well, hey, last night I was on Pop Marts and they had this drop, and I'm like, I just want to get chili cheese fries, dude.
I was able to get one wave of those things, and the people that I had to deal with, I was like, no, I can get more. I'm not gonna do it though. Absolutely not.
I've sold now 5 dozen Lafufus, maybe 6 dozen. I can't remember.
3 dozen for me, and that was it. I'm good.
No, I'm talking about the knockoffs.
Yeah, he's
doing no, these were legit.
I understand that, but the kids and the parents, they're like, yeah, $20, 3 for $50. I'd rather buy one of these than go through all the hoops and things of getting
sure.
So anyways, long story, we've had great conversations with Randy. I will tell you, if you're in this comic book industry and you need help, there's 5 guys right here. There's 1,200 store owners. There are publishers. There's nothing wrong for asking for help. There's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and calling someone and understanding that there's so much more out there than just your comic book store. And sometimes I will tell you, as many people as I have fired at Nordstrom, I would say 80% within 2 years have sent me an email or called me and said that was the greatest thing you ever did was firing me.
Yeah.
Because now I'm doing something that I actually love. And sometimes you get so stuck in this and you don't realize that, oh my gosh, I can go sell sneakers, or I could do X, Y, Z.
Guys,
a lot of guys will hold on to their stuff too. Is like they won't liquidate back stock that's not moving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, in 5 years. Yeah. But you need the money now.
But do you know how many people said, Dennis, you're crazy for trying this new concept store? And you guys have known me for almost 20 years. Am I the happiest I've ever been in this industry?
Yeah.
Not dealing in this industry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you don't wear any Kango hats anymore.
No, I'm a douche fedoras, Dennis.
Oh, yeah. Now you wear Kango hats. What the hell? Did you guys what?
At least I never wore a bucket hat.
Yeah.
I wish I could find Kangos, man. I'm not paying I want somebody to bring in a collection of Kangos. I'd wear one.
Yeah, but see, Dennis, I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, if you think about it, that's a perfect example of learning and applying it, and you're more successful now.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's
it's a part of
Bryan, I shared it with you. This is the 9th anniversary of the day I dropped that box on Diamond, and Diamond refused to acknowledge it.
Or the one at the retailer meeting.
I don't think
retailer summit.
I was
acknowledged it. I don't think they acknowledged it. I think they refused to acknowledge you.
Exactly.
I was there.
But that shit was driving me insane every day, every week, that I did not get to spend time with my kids. And then, and dude, there was plenty more things that caused me to have my heart attack. The least of which was The Last Jedi came out 2 days before it. But I realized it wasn't worth missing my kid's life. It wasn't worth dying to be that stressed out over fucking comic books. And I had to come up with a different way. I had to come up with something different. And I forced myself to learn those lessons that were making me unhappy and apply the things that were making me happy.
Right.
And when I finally implemented it, it was a life changer for me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you have to do. I mean, listen, I remember the hardest day of my life was giving my notice at Ford Nordstrom, being there almost my whole career, and working up the ladder and doing XYZ and traveling the nation, doing all the sacrifices I did. But the greatest day I ever had was the day I gave my notice at Nordstrom. And so it was kind of that twofold. So at the end of the day, I think we have to make those hard decisions, and we usually find out on the other side it's the right decision.
Yeah. And I think we all know, all three of us. Emmet, I don't know if you ever met Randy. The three of us loved him.
I mean, I love the Baltimore Comic-Con. If they did the con,
they
did it every year.
They did it every year but last year.
Yeah. Love that show. Yeah. One of the best shows in the country.
Yeah. My favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite. I'm not going to get to go this year because it's so close to New York.
Yeah.
I can't do both.
It's every one of us reached out to him. Every one of us tried. Every one of us loved that band and cared about him and wanted him to be successful like we did. And it's a shame that he's not here. I asked him to come on our show a couple times. He was like, no, I'm not into all that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And so, so again, everybody, I don't know anybody that I would call and say, oh no, I don't have time to talk.
Right.
I think we're a very strong industry, even though we look like we're nuts most of the time as far as the industry goes.
Right.
But individually, I think we all work as a team.
It's funny, and Jesse mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to spill some tea. I don't know how many times Jesse's called me and said, hey, dude, do you have like $500 in PayPal you can loan me for a day? Yep. And I don't know how many times I've messaged George and said the exact same thing. Yep. And George has messaged me, and I've messaged you. And that's what we do, man. If you need that $500 to pay a bill, call us,
All in
not
together.
if I don't know you. Fuck you if I don't know
Right.
you. But if Emmet called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, Dennis, I just need you to borrow $200 for a day."
Yeah.
The comic book community doesn't stop at the register. It goes behind the scenes too.
It
Hell
does.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, more is done. The problem. No, I shouldn't say the problem. Let me back up. Let me not say that. The issue is that charity is not supposed to be a social event.
Right.
It's supposed to be. That's exactly why it's called charity, and you
Right.
help each other out, and it shouldn't be publicized. Even though some companies do it, and I get why Bink does it. It's good to bring in everybody.
Them doing it. I
Yeah, I
understand.
get it. I understand it. But individually, we are always helping each other out. And so that I think this is the tough one, right?
Can
And
I pause you for a second, Jesse?
sure.
Do you know where Bink was formed?
Bink was formed. It was in Baltimore.
No, Ann Arbor, Michigan, by
Okay.
Borders. That B in the was originally Borders.
Oh, okay.
It
Really?
was formed by Borders. The charity outlasted the company.
Well, it was probably for bookstores to begin with.
Yes, it
Yeah,
started as a
exactly.
bookstore, and they morphed comic books into that several years before COVID.
I mean, I have to give them nothing but props because when we had to move here to the Nevada desert, when the fire happened and we had our whatever we had with Diamond and we ended up going under and the fire, like we lost everything coming here. And Bink came in and they paid literally all of our bills for a month, man, just to give me some breathing room.
And that's why I started. You remember, guys, I started Issues. And I tried to start a charity that could help.
I donate to them every month, man.
Well, no, because Bink. I donated a New Mutants 98 to them through Bill Shanus. And I donated a bunch of key books. But Bink saved my ass one time right during COVID. And I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But I wanted that within our own world to do exactly what, remember I started with Jen King and Christy Blank?
Yeah.
And it was called Issues. And Diamond could not figure out a way for us to pay a retailer's weekly bill.
Yeah.
If we raised the money, I said, every week I want to pay a retailer in needs bill. Sorry, Dennis, we can't come up with a reason how we could do that.
And you would think that they would want to maybe salvage customers.
It was going to them.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And the reason I chuckled when you say Issues is because like the round about like 6 degrees of separation is that the last Diamond Retailer Summit that we were at together, Dennis, was Vegas.
19.
And, you have your thing with Mark Wade and I don't. And, so we were at that Retailer Summit together. But it was at that Retailer Summit that I ran into my buddy Ray, who owned Captain Nemo's in San Luis Obispo. And he literally, that's when I found out about Bink. He took me and he walked me over to the Bink table and introduced me. And 2 weeks later, we had money in our bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and let's not forget.
Very great.
Yeah, and let's not forget publishers have jumped into this mix.
Yep.
I am here because of one publisher. And everybody, I'm here because of all the publishers, but one publisher during COVID said, you tell us what you need, it's done.
I remember
Right?
that. I believe a pallet or more worth of books showed up at your back door
3 pallets.
unexpectedly. Yeah.
3 pallets showed up. And
Was that Boom?
Yeah, Boom.
Yeah.
Ross
I was gonna say it's a shame because like some of the people aren't in place anymore, that we know, like I mean, like remember, San Diego Comic-Con, Jesse, you would do your runs back and forth, and I mean, we would like do our dealings with Ross at the Boom booth, our friends Dirk and Joel over at IDW, and of course Sean at Image. I mean, it was a different ball game then, man. And things just swung a little more corporate over the last, 8 to 10 years. So we really did lose something special there.
We created a brotherhood, even though we had a sister in there. We created a brotherhood. Of course, Jen's more manly than half of us.
In a nice way, Jen.
Yeah, there's only 4 guys, so I want to know who those 2 are. There's 3 of us right here.
Well, it's interesting to talk about this. I think that's something that we'll key in on more as this show goes forward, just because it's such a big part of our community. That's always the biggest part about all this is, and we've talked about it before, there's something to be said, being able to, knowing that you're able to lean on your peers in times of trouble. That's an important thing. Don't put yourself out on an island as a retailer or as a friend or as anything, because
who told you that? Somebody told you that at San Diego, and you told it to me, and I can't.
Excuse me.
Do you remember that?
Out on an island?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But if you put yourself out there on an island and you don't want to deal with anybody else, that's fine and all fine and dandy. But when times of trouble comes, you don't have somebody to lean on, and you need to lean on somebody every once in a while. And it's not a bad thing. It's how you find your tribe. So
I want to say one thing, and then whatever, we'll go to the next block. The one way that you can help people in their time of need is if they post something on Facebook, don't just hit like or love or care. Write something.
Yeah.
Just write something. People are looking. People are looking for support in just a small sentence that, oh my gosh, they wrote something. That means a little bit more than a like.
Right.
I was really hurt by this. Jesse called me this morning and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And I had to Google it, and I found out, and I had to break it to George, and I had to talk to a couple other people, and it was a brutal fucking morning because of this. And I just want everybody listening to understand, this doesn't just end your pain. It causes pain for a lot of other people.
Yep.
Amen. All right. Moving on to a little bit more drama. George, you can hang out as long as you want, brother. Bounce whenever you want.
If you guys don't mind.
Of course.
Sure.
We'd love to have you. So, one of the things that I talked about, a few drama, it's funny because this industry alert is almost like a drama industry alert show. A few weeks ago during Drama Alert, Sean Hudachko from Comics Elite put out this post on Facebook where he called out an AI artist, okay?
Oh.
And he basically said, he's kind of tired of this, and a lot of artists jumped on this thread. And one artist that was called out by a bunch of other artists was Cedric Pouliot. And we did a deep dive into Cedric's stuff, and it was kind of interesting because Cedric does a lot of sketch art and stuff, as you can see. But I think the problem is that artists are saying that he uses a finishing AI generator finishing technique, where after he does his art, he lets AI finish it to clean everything up. And a lot of these artists were calling him out, big artists. Well, this has continued, you guys. Check this out. At Fan Expo Canada, police came in because there was an AI anime booth that a bunch of creators and artists and people who were pissed about AI entering the platform started to protest at. And they had to come in and basically bring cops in to kind of make sure everything doesn't get crazy. So it was Bell's AI portrait booth at Fan Expo Canada, and it's AI generated art where they generate art of you into like cards or comic issues or something. Police were called out. They had to mediate between artists and the Bell Expo or the Bell team there. There was protesters, including a bunch of creators. It got pretty interesting. And I'm just bringing all these up. We have the Fame stuff. We had the Tidal Wave books, all the protesting about that over the past couple months. Well, a reason why I'm talking about this is because it's coming to a head, you guys. This week at Dragon Con, police were called out to mediate again because an artist there was called out by other artists for using AI art. And this is absolutely wild because there are so many posts about this on IG,
Can you go
on
back?
Facebook.
Go back one picture. Can you zoom in on some of his art?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep talking, Brian. Sorry.
So this is very interesting. The talk between the creators is very interesting. This guy supposedly said that he doesn't use AI art.
I think this guys who've been to San Diego, I think this is the guy who set up on the street and sold these.
I don't know. Well, listen, look at
do you
some of
remember
these posts.
the guy that would sit down on the road and he had all the, because that looks just like something I saw somebody selling on the streets of San Diego.
Is that called Lightbox Expo?
What? Where?
Right there, yeah, like Lightbox Expo.
Yeah, you just passed it. A little down.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the name.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Tracers Unite.
Yeah. Greg Land.
This is the guy. Is this the guy? RJ Palmer, Lightbox FO, concept artist and illustrator working in the entertainment industry. Yeah. No, he's calling this guy a grifter. So AI grifters scammed their way into Dragon Con, then staff had to have them escorted out. There was so many posts about this. It was unreal on Facebook and all over the platforms, different social media platforms. Absolutely crazy. Here's some more. Let me show you this.
Yeah, show them with the cops because they had to call the cops. So basically, what from what I've understood about people who were on the ground there, a bunch of artists basically pointed this guy out and said he's an AI artist. They raised a big enough stink with the Dragon Con people that Dragon Con walked up and said, "Hey, you need to pack up your stuff and leave." The guy said, "No, I'm not going to leave. I don't use AI." They persisted, and then basically they had to call the police and have him trespassed from the convention center.
Like, how do you prove that?
That's my problem.
Here's the funny thing, though. Before we
this is a giant.
Before we get into the legal aspect, I want to talk about this because this is where the change starts happening, and we talked about it with Tidal Wave. When the creators and the peers start protesting, then you have something, okay? You have something with real meat on the bone. And all the creators at the show put notes on the table left over. Look at this. These are all notes from other creators. Vendor removed for selling AI images. Art by humans. Just say no to AI slop. Wow. Rip Bozo. Like, the truth, like, El Bozo, Cope and Seethe, all my homies hate AI. Like, this is where the change starts happening. So, but there is, this is another one. The story, real artist complained, art proved to be AI, and he was asked to leave. He said no, so the police were called to watch him while he packed his AI crap up. F him and F AI slop. Hashtag art by humans. It's getting crazy, man. It's getting very interesting.
I've said it on this show before, and I don't know how to. There's a game called Werewolf. It's very popular.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the game is the community decides who the werewolf is, and they kill the werewolf. And this game historically has the worst rate of people figuring out who the werewolf is. Usually the werewolves win. And that's what I'm worried is we're getting to such a fever pitch. And like I said, as the retailers are so desperate, so are the artists. And they're seeing their livelihood stripped away from them.
I mean, we've seen what AI used at the big two on more than one occasion. You know, I just like one, how did they prove it? You know what I mean? Because now, I mean, you're also opening up maybe a competitor wants to try and get somebody kicked out of a show.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Well, go ahead, George.
No, as I say, like a competitor, you know, just, yeah, that guy's selling AI art. Whether he is or isn't, there's going to be, you know, hustle and bustle, negative energy or negative attention over there at the guy's booth, blah, 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 blah. You know, even if he is selling legitimate art, you know, it can be weaponized is what I'm getting at.
Sure. Well, there's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't use AI. Why? Because they didn't have AI in the 1700s. But it's also based on rights, accountability, ethical ways we govern society. And so that's the question is, how do we govern society when is this now going to happen at every con? And did this person pay for a table? And in any way, shape, or form, did Dragon Con look at their application and say, what are you actually selling?
Right.
That
there used to be conventions used to have what they called juries.
This is her right here. Oriana Garez.
And this is AI art we're looking at?
Well, people are accusing her of AI art.
I mean, the Catwoman looks like it's light boxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely, here's the thing. If this is actually, I've seen some of this art and it's painted on other things. And I'm curious what her process is before I'm going to accuse her of that.
So it says here, it says the artist exhibiting
like Photoshop collage, you know?
Yeah.
The artist exhibiting under the name Oriana Garez was stationed at booth A10 when complaints from fellow vendors and attendees prompted staff to intervene. Security, followed by police, asked her to pick up and leave the convention floor. Photos and videos of the incident shared across Facebook and social media show officers standing at the booth. Illustrator Dane of Monkey Minion, a regular at conventions, posted images of the aftermath, which quickly went viral in art and fan communities. The controversy only escalated after she allegedly posted a defiant message online. Quote, I'd share a screenshot of my sales this weekend, but don't have to give any explanation to you losers. You guys are sore because you didn't sell shit and will be forever broke. Have fun being a broke bitch. The Instagram account linked to the artist has since been set to private, and their personal website has been scrubbed of several pieces that critics flagged as AI generated. So that's why we're not seeing them.
Right.
Dragon Con, one of the largest fan conventions in the United States, has no clearly stated policy on using art without permission. Every year, many vendors sell art and products not licensed by the IP owners. What makes this incident different is the removal mid-show. Okay, so let's get into the legal stuff a little bit here.
Yeah.
Because this is where we get interesting. It's just like the blind bags. If there's no law, she's got a case, right?
No, she has a huge case. If she
it says right there, no clear policy.
Yeah. If she has a good lawyer, she's gonna make a lot of money. If she has a great lawyer, she'll never have to work again.
So just to go with what you were talking about on Saturday, Brian, I was listening to you and Sean talk about this. I watched Jim Lee 12 years ago on his little tablet, and he picked a tool and plugged it into the hair, and it made hair. Okay? That's AI. Jim Lee uses a form of AI. And I think I've been on record for 75 episodes of this show. Where's the line?
The line should be simple. It should be if you are training it with your own art skills.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's probably a custom tool that he designed.
Right.
Yes.
But if you're using like a Chat GPT type of, I forget what they call the
A generator, an art generator.
Yeah. If it's you out of your mind, right? It's something you put in there. You have to be able to put that out there, and it has to be able to be reproduced. I should be able to put the exact same thing that you said that you put in there, and it make the exact same art. You know, if you're doing it in a style of another artist, you're stealing their style.
Well, but even with an AI art generator, you could do that. You could put the same.
Go back to her art, though. I don't see that. I mean, other than stealing IP, which I think I've been on record saying I don't agree with either.
Right.
She's definitely stealing IP, but she's stealing as much IP as probably 90% of the Artist Alley was.
Right.
But what makes hers AI and theirs not? I need to know how much AI. You were just talking about, you know, I've seen too much of this now, and it's just
I wouldn't think it was AI because I thought it was awful.
Well, yeah.
It was not very good art.
Yeah.
But to normies who apparently she made some money, you know,
she said that. People say things when they're angry.
I don't know. I would probably buy one for a normie friend if I thought. I mean, I like the way they mix the music and the, you know.
Yeah, I think a traditional fan who just walks into a convention isn't thinking AI if they buy something that they like.
Right.
It just, unfortunately, that is the way it is. Yep.
Here's what GalaxyCon has said. Greetings. We are sending you a mission report amid the current happenings at the convention community space. Recently, there have been heightened concerns regarding the application of AI and its misuse in the vendor world and beyond. We at GalaxyCon support our artists and understand how their creativity is vital in the structure of our events and world. As a result, we want to protect our friends and fans from any potential harm to their work or integrity and have updated the terms and conditions across all brands to implement parameters on the use of AI art in our vendor spaces. Effective immediately. AI-generated artwork is prohibited for any booth or table type. This applies to all merchandise, including but not limited to prints, posters, mugs, t-shirts, apparel, towels, etc. Failure to abide by this rule will result in ejection from the event with no refund given, as well as a ban from any future GalaxyCon, Animate, Superstar, or Nightmare Weekend events. While AI is a powerful tool that can assist in many facets of creation, the current training of these programs still presents questionable ethical and moral issues we cannot ignore. As a company home to artists and creatives of all types, we monitor these conversations closely and do not take lightly their impact on our community. We thank you all for your support and encourage you to continue creating without the fear that your works will be disrespected or stolen in whole or in part. As the discussion of AI and its impacts continues, we will share updates to our terms and conditions. And in the meantime, we hope to see all of you at our con events. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the next move is IP theft.
I shared
that.
I shared this
4
with you
hours
back
ago.
in June. Okay. Brian, remember I got that contract for that anime expo and I showed it to you and we shared it on this show? They've already, the thing is people are playing catch up right now because they don't want to anger the artist community. DC didn't stop. Was it Matina? I apologize if I'm wrong. Was it Matina that got caught?
Yeah, Matina got caught using AI.
DC didn't stop Matina because they were appalled by his use of AI. They stopped Matina because the artists that work for DC said, knock this shit off right now or we'll never work with you. The same as who was the artist that we talked about on the show that said Zerdy. Just like Zerdy said, if you're fucking
and by the way, Yeah, with those Fame books, there's more artists now who behind the
Yep.
scenes have told me I will not work with retailers that work with Fame.
Yeah.
So a couple things that you want to point that we want to point, or I want to point out. The word of the use misuse is not properly used in this. They should have not used that word. The misuse of AI. What does that mean? How do you misuse AI?
I mean, here's the thing. If I was an artist who had a block and let's just, who's the hottest thing in the last week? Sydney Sweet. Let's just say, hey, AI, I need a really seductive pose of Sydney Sweeney for me to draw as convention art. And AI shows you Sydney Sweeney twisting her body and putting her hand on her hip and blah, blah, blah. And then you draw that and you light box that with pencils. How is that not still using AI?
How do you prove
you
it,
just
though?
bypassed it. Right.
How do you prove it?
Now you take a picture of your pencil, your traced AI art, your AI suggestion, then you ink it, then you color it, and now you take it to a show. It's AI art.
That's why all these artists have over the past 6 months have been doing progression videos. You know, Shikari does a progression video. Dan Panosian did progression video. Pouliot progression video.
Dan's a great artist, man. I've been to so many drink and draws with Dan. Dan is an amazing artist. Now, but there are other artists that are in Southern California in that crowd that, like, where do you draw the line? Like, let's say somebody uses a model that they photographed, then they lightbox that, then they colored and inked that. I mean,
well, this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like that's just too close to the image that I don't care how it was made at this point.
Whoa.
You know? Like that to
now,
me.
Bryan, I've corrected you before. Michael Jordan's real picture clearly says BULLS, but by removing the B with the shadow, it only says ULLS. That's a 20% change.
Yeah.
Totally legitimate.
He's not wrong. Them parody laws.
Oh my gosh. Those parody laws are fake. They're not true.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And people that believe it, they're going to get in trouble, I think. And that's just the problem. Just be careful.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that Crypto 608 was, I think, the worst. You know, I mean, not the worst, but it's pretty damn close. It's a full ape of Alex Ross.
So I'm going to be an asshole here.
What?
That's my job, Jesse. Fuck you.
Con. Yeah. Dragon Con. I love your stance on AI. Now, if you go to Dragon Con's webpage, they use DCI. DCI, guess how they make their webpage? All AI. So does that mean that your
I'll go one step
webpage is no longer than? Well, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. So does that mean that you're going to drop the company that you're paying, who's using AI to make your webpage, to put all the artists on there and everything else that you're doing? So what you have to do is you have to get to a lawyer next time you write something to public, and make sure you don't put stuff in your mission statement that actually doesn't make sense. Go ahead, Dennis.
I'll go one further. I basically boycotted Dragon Con 25 years ago when I found out it was founded by a convicted pedophile, and they said, "Oh, we've scrubbed all existence of him from our thing." And then a year later, he contacted me to approve my slate of guests that I was bringing in, and I sent out. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
He was using Dragon Con money to elongate his legal experience so that 10 years after he got caught here and avoided prosecution by being under house arrest, they found him in a hotel room with a naked 14-year-old boy in New Jersey. And then they finally.
It's always Jersey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jersey.
There you go.
But this guy, they were giving him money from Dragon Con for 10 years before a full boycott. I was boycotting it for the 10 years. But the boycott finally caught up with them so that they finally had to buy him out, close that organization, and start a new organization. Sorry, the damage is already done. You allowed someone we all knew. I mean, guys, the first time I met this guy, I'm like, okay, this guy is creepy as hell. You know, he was wandering around. All of our actors got invited to his suite, and he's wandering around the suite in a hotel bathrobe. You know, like Boogie Nights. And literally, when we saw
Alfred
Boogie
Molina,
Nights,
baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Christian.
Doing the Alfred Molina.
and the thing was and then the allegation came out right after that, and I'm like, I'm done. And then I got the phone call from this guy a year later to approve my slate of guests, and I sent out what I called the Jerry Maguire memo to all my clients saying, I can't in good conscience book anyone at this convention. Now, there's a ton of really good content on what Dragon Con actually is. The Craigslist ads that go out before Dragon Con are quite entertaining. There's a lot of YouTube videos that have cataloged them. It is a freak show. Now, I don't mind the freak show. I went to an adults-only Klingon spanking party. I'll tell that at a bar sometime. I'll tell that whole story. We went to a slave auction where there are literally women topless with chains around their neck being auctioned off.
Oh my God.
But I'm sorry, the founder being accused of pedophilia and giving off that vibe and credible witnesses to this, that was I was like, nope. But a lot of other people for 25 years have had no problem with that.
Well, here's the thing. This is my question to the Diaz here, to the panel. They don't have an AI policy. Do you think they sell out the next year? For those people that don't come, their artists that don't come, do they sell out next year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a wait list. There's probably a wait list of 100 artists that want to go to that Freak Fest.
Right. Yeah. I think coming out with a letter a day after or whenever this happened, yesterday, it doesn't even make, that's not even a stance. That's kind of like, hey, we effed up, so we're going to say this, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I guess that's my point. You don't need the police to kick someone out, right? Unless that person starts throwing punches, right? It's very simple. You walk up and, hey, we're going to ask you to leave.
What if they say no?
Go back to that picture. Picture.
What if they say no?
Yeah, but if they say no, then they have to have them trespassed by the police.
Yeah, exactly. Then you do that. But what you do is you send your security and they just start grabbing the property off the tables. They fold up the tables. They take the tables out. It's done. But what happens is you create all this ruckus. You leave the table there so artists can write stuff on the table. No, that spot should have been gone. It's just they weren't prepared for something they knew was coming. I guess my point is, did no one complain to them before the con started?
Well, I'm sure some people probably suspected her before that because she's probably been on the circuit for a while. There's probably been previous incidents where people have tried to call her out.
It wasn't done correctly, but it was done.
Yeah,
it's one of those
exactly. And that's where they're at. So,
but should it be done? That's, I think, what the question is to us.
It was probably a competitor that reported her too.
Yeah. If there was for someone who ran a big convention, if we went in at Phoenix Con back when I was running it, the comic book side, and we had an AI section, and we told the vendors, hey, we're going to have an AI section. It's going to be 20 people. And guess what? We're going to let you know that AI section is going to be separated from the comic book side of the convention. We're going to put AI artists on there. I guarantee you that area is just going to be just as busy.
Well, but hold on a second, Jesse.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but here's where it gets tricky. You do that at a convention, and all of a sudden, some artist gets a hair up their ass that you're having an AI section. You could have an AI writing section. That one convention was just using AI to generate images of people. I don't even think they were probably selling that stuff. I think it was just the fact that it's AI, it has to be evil. But all of a sudden, let's just say guest number 1 for that convention, guest number 2, guest number 3, and you announce an AI section, all of the artists are friends with those 3 guests are going to get night letters. They're going to be like, dude, how are you doing Jesse Comic-Con? Didn't you know he has an AI section?
Right.
Dude, I don't think we can work together on this big project if you're going to go to JesseCon. He has an AI section. Okay, then guest number 3 goes away. Right. Then that guest calls up guest number 2 and says, dude, I'm pulling out. They've got an AI section, and this person just called me up. Okay, I'm out now too.
Always pull out.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, you've got a kid.
I don't know how you can prove
Emmet, you've got a kid.
You can't prove any point for someone who went to a slave auction. That's a slave auction. You're trying to prove a point with me right now. At the end of the day, my point is the consumer. We have spent centuries telling people what they had to buy. We are now in a world where the consumer wants to tell us what they want. And
have you seen 70s Avengers? Burt Reynolds as Iron Man? Fuck me. I'll watch the fuck out of that AI movie.
I have seen those trailers. I like those retro trailers that they do. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Ethan, I do want to answer your question about AI and Franklin. Who were you talking about? I forgot who you were talking about. Who did the electricity with the key and all that?
Tesla.
No.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin. So the first time AI was ever used was in 1955 at a chess game. So I think Franklin was dead by that time. But anyways, I just wanted to give you that information.
Here's something interesting I want to ask. Has anybody heard about the PSA pop report being put out for comics yet? Has that happened?
No. I don't know.
The reason I ask is because I'm starting to get people sending me stuff about something that we could be talking about in the future. It sounds like there was a PSA 10 graded Uncanny X-Men 266 and
it wasn't mine.
That looks horrible. That should not have been graded a 10, a 9.8, or a 9.6, or a 9.4, or whatever. So if there's a pop report for comics yet, let me know. We'll look into it more. But I've had multiple people reach out to me about this issue with, because here's the thing: the PSA books, it was the #1 slot on the House of Stein Hot 10 last week because all PSA books are selling for equal value of CGC or 20% more than CGC right now.
I'm proof of that. I post all my sales.
He does.
And I've broken so many records with PSA grades right now. It's not even funny.
Did anybody send you pictures of the 266?
It's online.
Not enough high-res pictures yet. Not enough high-res pictures yet. So
yeah, it's one of those things where in Phoenix, well, not Phoenix, it's probably Glendale. It's Thunderbird and 51st, like anybody's picturing that other than me and Bryan right now.
I know where that is.
Yeah, it's 57th. Yeah, 57th. No, I'm not talking about the house across the street that you pay the girls to do. I'm talking about I'm not talking about that.
I know
No,
where that was.
Yeah, it's 57th and Thunderbird. They have a Chick-fil-A on one corner. They have a Cane's on the other corner, and a Wingstop on the other corner.
There used to be a Krispy Kreme a block from there that my dad built.
Yeah, there you go. So you have three choices, but what happens is Wingstop was there first, and everybody went to Wingstop, and then Chick-fil-A opened, and everybody flooded Chick-fil-A. Right? They just had to go to Chick-fil-A. Then Cane's opened across the street. Now Cane's is the big boy on the street. So I think what we have to kind of figure out is how many PSA graded books do you have to where you're now officially comparing it to a company that's done over 10 million graded books?
Not yet. It's got to continue. It's got to continue. We're we're seeing the new guys on the block right now. This is nothing unexpected. We expected that it was going to be a little bit higher because everybody's going to go. They want the new labels. It's got to continue though. If it continues for about a year, then we can talk.
If your company is the leader, it happens, and they keep getting that same 15% growth every year. They go to sleep. They just sleep on it. Yep. They're like, nobody's coming in. We are the leader. We've got GPA only putting our books up, and we have everything.
Your forum only is allowed to be talked about of CGC books.
Somebody will come in and eat your fucking lunch.
No, it's not just that, Emmett. And then you decide to take your power as the #1 comic company and decide to move in on cards.
Yeah.
And you try to take PSA's lunch.
Because they're reaching saturation. Nobody believes me. They're like, oh, there's so much more stuff to grade. The only reason they went to 9, 9, and 10 is so they can get those people that had 9, 8s to crack them and send them the fuck back in.
Get the
because they need more books. They do not. They are not getting the numbers they used to get.
Crack them, press them, clean them, resubmit them.
Exactly. And I think the other thing that you want to look
next, mark my words, in 5 to 10 years, restoration will be the next hot thing. And if you can find a damaged book, they're going to be doing restoration because they won't have enough shit to grade. So they're going to have to make that a hot thing. So you're going to start seeing restored books going for big money on eBay and on at Heritage.
Yeah,
exactly. I think the one thing that you have to, we forget we're retailers, right? We assume that every PSA that's then be sent in is by a retailer who's then flip it. And at some point that's not going to happen. Consumers are going to start doing it, and you want to see that flow and that trend of how is the consumer actually partaking in this as well, and the amount that they're doing it in. If you go to a convention and you see the people in line for CGC, the consumer, will that happen with PSA? And I think that's the question. And again, regardless of how we think about them, you still got the other grading companies. And even if they're only taking 1%, 2%, that's still 1 or 2%. So it'll be interesting how that war continues to grow at the pace it continues to grow in a market that seems to be up 1 week, down the other.
It's also going to depend on how aggressive PSA wants to get at, like show presence, that kind of thing, setting up booths, on-site submissions, that kind of thing. If they're going to get in the trenches with CGC and just go toe to toe with them,
Right. Well, I think the question, George, is are they going toe to toe? Because they already have, they're then go to a convention and they know 90% of the people are then walk up with cards.
Right.
So what is that percentage where they say, okay, well, we have to hit 15% in comics before we even try to market comics? Or do we spend our marketing money on cards and marketing cards and what we do the best?
I would think that they would spend money on marketing to the comic book people because they are one of the industry standards in cards already.
Yeah. Because I think they need to get to a certain percentage of the market.
Yep.
To make it viable long term.
You got
Right.
to touch the slabs when I got mine there
Yeah.
in San Diego. What did you think of the slab?
They're monsters. Like you're like, you have a good shot of it not cracking or anything if you drop it.
Yeah.
I saw you slamming them on your video. It was
Yeah.
like,
And here's the thing,
they're
guys.
hefty.
I
The
have
PSA ones?
Yeah, I have
very
a
hefty.
CGC and a PSA at my store, and everybody who asks about the PSA, I'm like, okay, here, hold this CGC slab, feel it. Okay, just leave it in your hand. All right, now put out your other hand. And not one person I have put both slabs in their hands is not impressed with the absolute brick shit house that PSA has made.
They're not impressed with it?
They are absolutely impressed. Not one has not been impressed.
Yeah.
It is so solid.
So, what name the? And you
I
guys
think
are
the labels are black.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because you're not a card guy. But everybody who and you talk about 10 million slabs. I don't think it's that many at CGC, but there are 100 million slabs at PSA. And the
No, I send plenty of stuff to PSA. I'm at the like the comic thing. I'm a fan of the aesthetic of Tag.
Tag has the best labels, man.
Yeah, when it comes to like resell, like attracting the eye in the shop, Tag is hands down, the eye catcher.
That's who I send my stuff to now.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing about graded books is you also have to look at, if you're a retail front, what percent of your sales are graded books.
Mm-hmm.
George, what
Emmet,
percent?
0.
Yeah. 0.
Half a 0.5%. I have a stack of 10 that have come in collections. That is kind of like
so for
all
me,
stacked on top of each other.
Compared to like 5 years ago, almost next to nothing now on the cards.
Okay.
I mean, we're in a red line sideways bubble in TCGs right now. You know what I mean? It's just redlining, and it's going that way until something does something. So I'm like a lot of other people, I'm sending in cards, PSA, Tag, getting those back as fast as possible and turning them.
I sold 5 Tag cards last week for $7,000.
Yeah, what were they? Were they Pokemon, Magic?
Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna send you 2 pictures real quick, because this is totally non sequitur, but we talked about it last week, and I wanted to send it to you. All right, I'm sending you that one, and I'm sending you this one. So here's the difference, guys. I had these cards at one at my store and one on eBay. And nope, I gotta go to the other one.
Oh, this is the one that you said you thought was a rookie, but it wasn't. It's a second year.
It wasn't. Yeah, second year.
Second year. Yeah, 68 is this Jerry Kuzman and him being a
right. But he's on the 69 team card. He's on the 67 team card. Did you know that, Emmet?
I
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nolan's on the 67 team card.
And then, so I had this one in the case at my store.
It's gonna be a while, Niobe.
Hold on. I'm just trying to. Damn it, where is it?
No, yeah, he's wrong. It's not going to be soon.
Who?
Niobe said the Pokemon bubble will burst soon.
Not even close, man.
We're in for a ride, man.
We've got three generations of fans have collected Pokemon. It's only going to get bigger.
I didn't have players for years, and I sold Pokemon, but I didn't have any players. I now have a whole set of 8 players. So like it's going up for me. And like once you start getting players, your sales start becoming even better, especially the new stuff.
Yeah.
Singles, common cards.
And you have a judge?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a weekly play and trade night at my place.
Yeah.
Damn it. Where is this damn picture?
Yeah, it was so funny. A couple came in today, and we had one of those customers. You have the no way. I call them the no way customers that, I have a huge freaking store. I have freaking a ton of stuff, 200 genres on the store, everything. And they always find the thing you don't have.
Yeah.
So no way customer, right? There's no way you're selling them anything.
Yeah.
There it is, Brian. So I just want to tell this funny story. So I put the 4.0 on eBay at $3.99, and because I always put some room in there. I had no idea that I had a 6.5 in the store for $325, and my employee called me up and said, "Hey, somebody and this was the day after I sold the 4.0 for $325.
Oh, geez.
And she goes, "Hey, a customer wants to know if he'll take $250 on the Nolan Ryan." And I'm like, "No." And in fact, if he passes on the $325, pull that, because that's worth like $600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now and it's all because it's graded. And I know Emmet has that, but it's when you look at those
cards. I grade cards.
But that 4.0, go back and forth between the two. That 4.0 and that 6, you can't tell the difference. But PSA put 6.5 on that one and 4.0 on the other one.
What's the turnaround on cards?
Depends.
As far as when you send them in and get them back.
Tag is 6 weeks, but you can only do back to 1989. I don't do.
I
PSA.
submitted 21 cards at San Diego end of July for PSA card grading, and it's saying my estimated time is November 5th.
Yeah, it's forever right now.
Yeah.
So July to August, September, October, and then so 3.5 months.
Okay.
So I can tell you, selling non-graded vintage cards, when the old timers come in and they're looking and they know the room is in grading it.
Yep.
Right. So if I have when I give them a price, they really can't push me down.
I couldn't get $100 for that Nolan Ryan card if it's the exact same condition raw.
Yeah.
And
you sold both of the slabs?
No, the other guy, he was on the phone and he said, "So you're not going to give it to me for the $325? Well, if you're here, you could buy it.
Yeah.
But if not, it's being pulled."
Yeah.
Why did you even ask? If you just walked in and paid the $325,
it happens all the time.
But they thought they wanted to haggle $75 off and cost them everything.
Yeah.
The important thing is to know. The important thing is to know if you're looking for something, know what they sell for. Keep an eye on it and be, get educated. That was always the thing about back in the day in CBSI, when CBSI first started. It was your education grounds. And then when you went into a comic book store, you knew which books you could sell for a ton if you found them in a dollar box. You keep that's important. That's so important in the collectibles game, because you will go into a store that doesn't update their prices on the regular and you could find deals.
And then you'll have the stores that say, "Hey, we got to look it up on eBay." When you bring it up to the counter.
You thought did you read what I wrote about the blind bag poolers, George?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Brian, can
Jesse
you
went hard.
Yeah. So
what?
Jesse went hard.
Yeah, Brian's then pull it up for me.
Let's see.
Because my take on what you just talked about is 3 times harder. But you got to hear this take. This is my take on blind bag, folks. And I didn't know one of my buddies was the instigator on this, and I still would have wrote it, but I would have contacted him first.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
Get
go
him,
ahead.
no.
Don't be one of those dumbasses. If you need to sell your product 5 days before the release date on a live show, get the fuck out of this business. You're a
Get 'em.
loser. I have no problem with pre-sales, but opening up a blind bag on your show knowing it's not allowed is pathetic. That's why our industry and retailers can't have nice stuff. From Lunar, street date reminder. And he reads the street date reminder.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a hard take. My take on people that put those freaking signs up that say, we have the right to change the price at the counter. I'm not here to do your job.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's lazy. That's just complete laziness, man. If you're not on top of your inventory. You know?
Exactly. So if Dennis has it for $325, he's probably got for $325 for a reason. And you know, why would he go $75 down and the guy get mad? And then want to buy it afterwards. I just think we're in a world where you know, I would have to say 98% of my customers walk to the key wall, they buy something off the key wall, or they grab something off the key wall, they walk up to the counter and say, I'll take this. Yeah. And then you got that 2% that wants to wheel and deal. But 98% of most customers are just, I just want this.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, especially if your stuff's reasonably priced and, you know, but yeah, there are those people that have that swap meet yard sale, I'm at a convention mentality when they come into a shop. That's always been a sticky subject for me. You know?
And that's one of the things that, you know, I'm in a mall now. You know, that's the highest level that we could have ever assumed we would ever reach.
Yeah.
And they still want to haggle.
Yeah, that puts you in a great position, though. I mean,
it does. And I tell them, I go, yeah, no, we have the discount prices over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go shop over there.
How'd that work at Walmart when you tried to get the Pokemon for 20%?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like the guys that go to the dollar bin. They say,
how much if I buy this many?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you bought 10 for $1 each, yes, it's going to be $10.
Yeah, that's where you just have a short box price ready for them. Let's go. You want a wheel and deal? You know, I got short boxes hold what 150. I need $100. Fill one up, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
I have all kinds of deals. Like my subscribers, if you subscribe to a comic, you get 10% off anything in the store. Any day you walk in, even if you're not picking up, you get 15% off your new books. So there's a benefit to being a subscriber. Oh, you're not a subscriber? All right. Well, it's regular price.
Yeah.
Right. The how have your orders been the last couple of weeks, Emmet?
This week it seems like I don't have any damages. Penguin came in the same day as this is the first time ever. Same day as Lunar did. So like Thursday of last week. So that was really nice. So I was able to check it all in and make sure it was all good.
Right.
Well,
go ahead.
You also got some pickups. Let's get into some pickups here because I know Emmet's got some pickups.
I got a bunch.
Emmet finally got a pickup?
Yeah, I finally brought my pickups. Let's start little. So I love these little Drake Cakes comics. They're from Drake's Cakes.
Yeah.
You know,
what was that 70s or 90s?
Yeah, 70s.
Okay.
70s. And then I showed these guys earlier, but I love these things. This is Heroes, Heavies, and Heroines. And there's prints in here by Byrne, by Kirby.
Wow.
Most of them are actually inked by Bill Black, which I love his work, and it had some of his in there too. So that's it, and it's sealed from Paragon Publisher, never been opened since the 70s. Or what is it? Is it?
Are you gonna? You know,
75,
I
78.
think you can steam those open.
Yeah, 78 or something like that.
If you take a tack iron,
this one's 82. I know they were around since the 70s. This one's 82.
70s.
Yeah. I can get it open if I tack iron it. Then we got Everybody loves this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God love, man's kill.
Kill. Yep.
Yep.
And Captain Marvel, The Death of. Oh, there we
One of
go.
the top 5 reads of all time.
Yep.
Some people, it's their number 1 read, folks. If you haven't read that, that is history. That is culture. You've got to read that book.
The New Mutants first appearance.
Yep. And keep in mind, also what Emmet is showing you, that's how trades came out back in the day.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Marvel Illustrated swimsuit. Marvel previews from 93.
Cool.
Yeah. Then from 91, the one that looked like the Time magazine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Life, whichever one. This stuff really excited me. The comic book
Oh, nice. The promo posters. Yeah.
Promo posters. This would be hard.
That might be one of the ones that was in a Wizard, or it might have been one that got sent out to comic shops. You got to double
This was a
check
comic.
those.
Yeah, this was a comic shop one.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
Jim Lee comic shop promo.
I'm not going to open them all, but this is
Liefeld.
the X-Force one.
Yeah.
30th anniversary of Spider-Man.
Nice.
This is a big one. This is a full.
Yeah.
This is a full 24 by 16.
Well, they had a lot of different licensors that popped on with that because they were doing cards, they were doing posters, they were doing.
1992.
Yeah.
I believe this was the Spawn.
Yeah, I was going to say 30%, but 40% is not right.
That's definitely in the. That was from the Wizard.
That's
This
Wizard.
is from
yeah.
Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything that is single folded is
Yeah.
Wizard.
Wizard.
Anything
yeah.
that is quadruple folded is a promo.
Yeah. Nice.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
And then one of the other favorite She-Hulks, the sensational She-Hulk Marvel.
Yes.
And
That
then
was a
last
good
but
one.
not least, for books, actually I have 2. This is the Star Wars album.
Yep.
This one I had never seen before. Metallica magazine, and it's from it's called Rocket. And then on the back, 2 for 1, Lita Ford, looking voluptuous.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kiss me once.
Yeah. 1988 Wolverine comic cards. The set sealed.
Are we done? I'm leaving. Yeah.
And then lastly, this all came from one collection. It was pretty nice. All
did
the
George
Star
leave?
Wars
George
stickers.
bails. George should have stuck around.
Why did he leave?
I don't know.
He
Yeah,
just
the stickers.
Yeah,
Star
tons of
Wars
them.
stickers.
Yeah. And then something I'd never seen before. You guys might have probably have seen it before. These are tiny.
Oh, the stickers. Yep.
1986 Marvel stickers.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a hard set to complete too.
Yeah. So I have 36 of them. I don't know. I got to look up what the set, how many there are in the set. But yeah, it was a good day today. And I also got 15 long boxes.
Yeah, I saw this right here.
Yeah. And nothing, no big bangers, but I paid 40 a long. So, I wasn't expecting to get $300 and $400 books out of it. Sight unseen. I just told the guy, he says, I got 15 boxes. I said, I paid $40 a box.
I got educated on a book today, guys.
Oh yeah.
Did I save a picture of it? Hold on. Let me just double check. I know
Deb.
I've been
Doesn't
slow at
start off
everything.
with Debbie, right?
Yep. Let me send this one to the group.
Okay.
This one blew my mind because I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't think I know this. I don't think I knew that this was actually what this was, and maybe Key Collector's wrong. So maybe you guys can re-educate me, because I always thought that the first appearance of this creator was on a different book. And I was going through a short box today, and I had, I think, 2 of these.
This is the first Alex Ross on DC.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah,
For
his
DC.
Yeah, for DC.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever knew that until I was looking up Spectre issues just to see if there was anything else, and sure enough, I had 2 of these in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good book.
You know what's cool? You know, you got educated on that. I got educated on Justice League Europe. I don't know what issue it is, but the first Sonic.
Yeah.
There's
And
4 books that is in, or 3.
Yeah. And a guy came to account. Yeah,
Detective
I had 3
649 or something, 349, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm like, why are you buying 3 copies? And he's like, can I pay first? I'm like, well, I'm going to give them to you regardless. And he's like, you sure? Because you got a big case of Sonic over there. And I'm like, oh, it's a Sonic thing. And yeah, it's a full page promo ad and another page of awesomeness. So what the notion that we've done this for so long, we know everything is BS.
Right?
We get coached so much
daily
in our job. Even if a customer tells me something that's wrong, my job isn't to tell them they're wrong.
Right.
It's just, okay, yeah, cool, awesome, whatever. And then you slowly show them why they're wrong. Oh, by the way, I think this might be the first appearance of this person. Or 1.0 is not the top grade in grading. It's XYZ.
I'll tell you, I learned so much from my buddy at Cyberspace Comics, Steve. This guy has so much data, sales data, and independence. He knows crazy things about independence and sales, like stuff that sells. Like the last issue of Sergeant Rock gets crazy money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Final issues of almost all books get crazy money if they're
but it's like crazy money.
Yeah,
like
it's
$2 bills.
Yeah, the war and Western collector are very well educated collectors. Horror customers kind of, but there's so much horror. I don't think you can do that. But with war, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been selling a lot of war books recently, which is crazy. Just out of the blue. Because they've sat for 11 years, and just all of a sudden they're starting to sell.
Yeah.
Jesse, did you get any pickups?
Yeah, I did get some pickups. I did want to show Emmet and I've shown this on the floor show before, but I love showing this set because there's very few sets of these out there. I do have the full set of the 1967 Marvel sticker set.
Ooh.
This is the whole set. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And just awesome. And I bought it from one person who had tons of duplication, but these cards are just awesome. They're kind of
so great.
Yeah. And so I have a full set of those, and it's cool because they're kind of the bend back cards. Or stickers. So you do one. The other set, let me grab the other set because since we're showing hard to get sets, I do have the comic book Boldies complete set.
I love and hate those.
Yeah,
the Queen one is the one that sells for the most.
Yeah.
I've got a half set. But they were all folded.
Yeah, see, these aren't folded, which is awesome. And the great, well, I shouldn't say the great thing. I don't know what card it is. It has the only Queen Elizabeth card in it. So that's pretty cool there. So anyways, those are cool things I've shown before. Now, I picked up 2 things I never knew existed since I've been collecting this book. We're all Michael Turner fans. I picked up these number 8s that I've never seen before of Batman, Superman, Michael Turner covers.
Those are re-releases
from a European museum.
Yeah. So I picked up those, and I picked up this one. So those are the two I picked up.
Yep, they're gorgeous.
Yeah. So great items there. And then also I picked up, and this isn't really that big, but I did pick up the Gone with the Wind Deluxe VHS tape set.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
So I got that. Yeah. Then I got I was showing you guys this week today before the show.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
Pink Floyd 1973 tour shirt. So that was awesome.
Hey, what are you going to put that out for? Are you going to put that out for like $250?
Yeah, I was. It's a 4X, but I don't think whoever buys it cares about the size.
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I think so. About 200, 250 is then be fine.
Yeah,
on that.
that's a great size for display because if you put that in a frame,
there you go.
Yeah, that's a nice display one. Yeah.
I'm always trying to find those. So very cool. I like Steve Young. Very cool there. Now,
by the way, Jesse, hold up that Steve Young card real quick. A lot of people don't know this. This card right here. So the 86 top set is horrible for centering issues.
Yeah,
and that looks like a very nicely centered card. The Steve Young rookie in that set is one of the toughest PSA 10s in football cards, period. If you have decently centered 86 top Steve Young cards, they will sell for a premium because of how tough centering is on that set.
Is on them, yeah.
Yeah. So the next two are questions for you guys. So I picked up this. This is a graded 11 by 17 poster. Does that seem right? That the CGC grade prints?
Yeah, well, they do. Anything that's bigger, they put them in that art thing because
that's just
that was for OA and prints, autographed prints at conventions. Okay. So they probably just put it in their art slab.
Okay. So this is real. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I got two more items. I have never seen this before. I don't even know how to put the batteries in this freaking thing. It's driving me crazy. I picked up this.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that the other week. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently you put the card in. I don't even know how to get the card out. Well, somehow this folds up. Oh, there it goes. And you put the card in.
They're the what are those cards called, Brian? They're like the big or something.
No. Those are talking baseball.
Yeah,
okay, I just know they had a whole pack that was like a super.
Yeah. And it's a record.
Yeah.
It's basically a record.
Yeah. I see it on the back now.
There you go.
And spins freely.
Yeah. Okay, so do these cards come in packs or do you?
No, they came. I think they
came blister packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then the last.
And they had Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth and that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, which I've almost dropped 3 times now. The contractor came in and he's like, "Hey, I need to borrow the ladder." And for some reason I put it on the ladder and whatever. I don't even want to talk about it. This is the other thing I got.
Oh, nice.
4-time, the only one in the world, signed by the inker, the colorist, the artist, and the editor. 1-on-1. I picked up that 9.8. 9.8. Yeah, okay. I thought I was gonna get. I probably should. Well, you can't get it pressed once it's signed, but
I have one of those, Jesse. It's a different cover, but similar.
Yeah, different cover. Yeah, awesome. I mean, these are just freaking awesome books. 1-of-1s.
Wait, who are the other 2 that signed yours, Brian? Or other 3 that signed yours?
Yeah. So creator, colorist, writer, editor. Production.
I think that's a cheat.
Cover artist.
I think the editor used AI.
Cover artist and promotion of the brand. So
right.
This is signed 7 times.
Wow. Holy cow. And what's the print run on that one?
This is the Huntsville Expo. So I think 100.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. LTD 100. That's awesome.
Yeah.
After the show, I've got a little bit of drama to give you for your Saturday show.
All right, good. Well, I got to pee, you guys. It's been a long show, and I'm getting older these days, and I know these guys got to pee too.
real
If I
quick,
got to
guys,
pee, these guys got
to
to
our
pee.
buddy Randy.
Hell yeah.
Yep. There you
Amen,
go, buddy.
brother.
Yep.
All right, there's Mark. We're going to send him a link after the show to hang out. We'll see you guys soon. Adios.